But I believe in prayer. And I believe that prayer sets the atmosphere for whatever God has in store for us on this evening. So if you would bow with me in a word of prayer. Eternal God, our Father, it's once more and again we come before you to say thank you, Lord. Thank you for the opportunity to come out and share amongst our sisters, oh God. I pray right now, God, that as the speakers come, that you would just calm their spirits and allow them to give what it is that we need on this day. Because, God, when we leave here, we don't want to leave here empty. We want to leave here full of you. So we thank you and we praise you for what's about to take place in this atmosphere. What's in the wonderful name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. 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 Now, let's have some fun. Before we get started, I need everyone to stand up. Can you join this table right here? These ladies right here, join this table. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know we had a long day and, come out to have some fun. So what I need you to do is face this young lady. Move your chairs out the way. You face that one. Face her. Yeah,
face the wall. Face the wall.
I'm facing the wall. No. You're going to stay right where you are. But, yeah, face the wall. I'm sorry. Yeah, face the wall. Young lady. Okay, you're right. You're good. Okay, face the wall. Face the wall. You can come right here. Man, you can come right here. Okay. All right. Okay.
I got you.
Now, Danny, I need you to move your chairs out the way. Yeah. Okay, you can join her right there. All right. Now stretch out your arms. Place them on the shoulders of the person in front of you. Face the wall, baby. Face the wall. There you go. And put your arms on their shoulders. Put your hands on their shoulders. Put your hands on their shoulders. There you go. Put your hands on their shoulders. Now give your sister a rub. There you go. There you go. Rub their shoulders. Rub their shoulders. Yeah. Switch. There you go. Get them pinks out. Amen. Now don't you feel a whole lot better? Amen. Amen. Yeah. My name is Michelle Small, and I am an associate minister at the Charity Church. I served as infant pastor at the New Bethlehem Baptist Church, and I tell you that was awesome. It was an experience, and I take my hat off to all pastors because everyone isn't called to that position. So I served there for a little bit. And then God called me out, and now I'm serving at the Charity Church. Amen. Amen. Our first, I just want to give you a little background on myself. Our first spoken word is coming from Karma, and she's going to come in her own way. Give her a hand as she comes. Mm-hmm.
I'm all kind of loud. Can you get this mic? All right. Would you still like me if I took out my weed, wiped off my lip gloss, set aside my flaws, revealed myself, the self that no one wants to take? The me the world is more content that I fake. For goodness sake, with each breath I take, would you still like me? Would you still want me? Want to flaunt me if my makeup was left, if all that was left, couldn't get it right, so I fight with truth and what I write. Bring clarity and darkness to light. Would you want me if I fail to derail and reroute what this life is about? If I miss, but I can't miss the opportunity to kiss these dreams. So life at the seams when it seems like it won't matter. entertain endless chit-chatter while getting fatter off things that never fed me. People who never understood or misread me. Bibles for placeholders and never read. Truth is spoken but goes over their heads, so I bring my own truth and apply my makeup instead. Would you still love me if I bled? Bleeding everything that was ever said or spoken, understood in the corporate world, I'm just a token who earns I keep. I get tired, but I'm not allowed to oversleep or weep out loud while people hide in clouds of smoke. I'm hearing plastic laughs for pointless jokes while silently screaming out loud with a smile on my face. And in so many years, barely picked up the pace in a race with myself against time. But this time, ladies, it's our time. So what does it really mean? Your thoughts seem to be based on unnecessary factors. Got green lights and pass go while waiting for my reactors to kick in. Kicking in destiny with bare feet. Applying knowledge I learned from the street. Ladies, we don't know defeat. Won't tolerate deceit. We will break bread with the elite. Plant flowers in concrete and watch us grow. As long as they know we are here. And we're not going anywhere. Still.
That was awesome. Will you still like me? We're going to have our first raffle. She asked me to be the first one, and that's a privilege and an honor. So thank you for my tissue. So thank you, cousin. I'm a crybaby. So thank you, cousin, for the opportunity. So, as time was going on, in my meditation time, some call him God, I now call him Allah. Allah, what should I say to your babies? Well, he told me to tell my story. I said, tell my story? I said, okay. So now we all sister girls. You get that text message, what you doing? Can we talk? I'm texting you now. What you doing? Can we talk? As you want to know, this month is October, and it's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And it's also Domestic Violence Month. Purple. They call it domestic violence purple. So I tried to mix them up together. But it's ironic that where I'm going to start at is domestic violence. I love you. I love you too, Mom. At the age of 5, my mother decided that it was okay for me to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So I was like, okay. I got my peanut butter, I got my jelly, I got my bread, my 5-year-old self at the table making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. My father come in, and he came in, however he came in, went straight into the room and started beating my mother. That was my first time ever knowing what domestic violence was. So me, at the age of 5, took my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, hid under the table, because I heard my father and they beat my mother. When my mother would cry, it sounded like she's laughing. So as she was beating in the beginning, I thought she was laughing. But all the while, she was crying. So as it was going on, like I said, I was still making my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. My mother ran out the bedroom. My father ran after her. And it was funny. My mother got away. But as he was trying to grab her back into the room,
she slipped away, and my father fell. When my father fell, his face turned straight to mine, and we locked eyes. He didn't know where I went at. So when he saw that I knew what was going on, he just got up off the floor, shut the door, and that was that. So that was my first experience with domestic violence. And as time would go on, me being daddy's little girl, not knowing what the situation was about. At this time I was like 6, going on 7. My mother was pregnant with my, I call him my son sometimes, that's what he is to me, my brother. And she asked me, do you want to go see your father? I'm like, yeah, let's see my father, whatever. So when I go see my father, they had their grown up talk, whatever. And they got back together. I was like, okay, I got my daddy back. Baby girl got her daddy back. So I was excited about that, but not knowing the whole time my father was still will be hitting on my mother. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, can't you love this woman? This woman loves you dearly, but you can't love her. Why? So, fast forward some. I remember the day perfectly well. I was outside. At this time, I lived on Spalding Avenue. And Spalding Avenue consisted of family. It was, at the time, I don't think I moved in yet, but cousin lived next door, a house in between. Then there was another house on the other side, family. Across the street was my great-grandmother, and that house was family. So we had about 4 or 5 houses on one block with family. So I was across the street playing in my grandmother's yard. I call her Glasses grandmother. At that time, I had 2 grandmothers. My grandmother sitting over there, and her mother. I call her Glasses grandmother. But now she's deceased. I love her, that lady to death. But that's a different story. So, I'm playing in her yard, and I see my father with all our stuff, and take our stuff out his car, and just toss it in the air. Like, all our personal belongings, everything. So at that moment, I knew my mother had enough. Because that was the most embarrassing, for me as a child, 6, 7 years old, that was embarrassing. To see your father throw your whole entire clothing items, personal items, whatever. He just tossed it like it was nothing, like, just tossed it, like, come on now. So, then, they got divorced. We lived with my grandmother, and that was, I love Spalding. I can't get Spalding Avenue out of my system, because that's where life taught me. The struggles we went through. Everybody probably like, all these Mexicans living together, yada, yada, yada. We had 15 in the house. But that was our house on Spalding Avenue. My grandmother had 7 children. All 7 of her children, except one. Well, he was living next door. 6 of her children was in the house. On weekends, her grandchildren would come over. Me, my brother, and my other cousin would live in the house. So it was 3 grandchildren always in the house. So, by me saying family, I love family. So, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. But, the family situation. So, like I said, as time was going on, my mother was dating. She didn't know I knew she was dating, because you know how you have your grandmother watch the children, they gotta go to sleep. Make sure they go to sleep before, take the bath, get them together, eat them, feed them, go to sleep. So I knew she was going on dates. She just didn't know I knew, but I knew she was going on dates. So, she decided to introduce me to a gentleman. I'm like, okay. Then she was like, Toya, how do you feel about us getting married? I was like, sure, yes, let's get married. I can have a daddy again. That same year, my birthday is around the Thanksgiving holiday. my birthday this year is actually on Thanksgiving. So, like I said, family means so much to me. So, walking down Spalding Avenue to Queensbury to go to my father's side of the family, which is my cousin's father. So, Thanksgiving Day, me and my brother is at grandmama's house. So we up there like, yeah, we're gonna say our father, yada yada yada, this ain't the third. He walks in the house, right past us. Didn't even acknowledge that his children were there. So I said, yeah, okay. I'm 12 years old at this time. So I said, okay. You don't want to acknowledge us? This is my last time acknowledging you. I told my brother, I said, be quiet. I'm about to get our coats and be walking home. From that day on, at the age of 12, I didn't see my father until later on in life. We snuck out my grandmother's house on Thanksgiving Day because he rather would have his female over his flesh and blood. So, okay, like I said, the mother said she about to get married. So I was like, yay, gonna have another father, yada, 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 yay. Unbeknownst to my mother, when she wasn't around, it was like I was Cinderella. I was Cinderella. I had 2 stepbrothers. When she wasn't around, everything fell on me. Everything that was wrong in the house fell on me. When she come back around, I'm like, but you just did this to me when she wasn't around. So I'm like, okay. At this time I was in middle school. Grades started failing. I started fighting because I didn't know how to channel this anger, because I got blamed for everything, was talked about behind my mother's back, called out my name. All types of stuff was going on. And I can still remember this one situation where it was our time to do chores. So, my mother and my stepfather had Sundays. My other stepbrother had Mondays and Tuesdays. My other stepbrother had Wednesdays and Thursdays. I had Fridays and Saturdays. I can still remember this. So, when Wednesdays and Thursdays came, my stepbrother would not wash the dishes. So, by me being like the person that I am, I wash the dishes. Just because, who wants to come home, your parents come home to a dirty house? So, I was like, okay, I wash them, don't mind, I wash them. But this one particular time, I said, I am not washing no dishes. I'm not doing it. It's not my turn to wash the dishes, so I'm not going to do it. So that Saturday, my mother had a preaching engagement. She was preaching, doing what she was doing. And he grabs me, lifts me up, and throws me into the wall. Yeah. So I'm like, okay. I said, I'm not coming back in this house. I got my mother staying here. So mother came home, she figured out, she asked why the holes in the wall. They did, they had whatever they had. But I went straight to my grandma's house, at the Spalding Avenue, where love, to me in my mind, where love was. So that's where I went. Fast forward some times, like I said, I would fight, I would get suspended, all that stuff. Fast forward to the age of 16. Okay. Can we talk? How old are y'all? How old are you? 13. How old are you? 16. How old are you? Can they Can they step out? Can they step out for a second, please? Just for one second.
Why they step out? I'll step out with them.
Okay. Just for about 2 minutes.
I thought it was over there.
About 2 minutes. One day, I left my uniform at school. I left my uniform at work, so I cut out of school. Went to Walbrook, KFC in the Junction. Do you remember KFC in the Junction? Okay. I worked at KFC. I left my uniform home by accident. Cut out of school. A young lady came with me. When I go to my house, pick up my uniform. Then she was like, since we got enough time before you go to work, let's go to my brother's house. I said, okay, that's fine. Let's go over there. Just kill time, whatever. So goes over there. It's hot outside. It's June. I goes over there and asks for something to drink. Gave me something to drink. Drunk it. Okay, thank you. Tastes good. Can we have another one? Like I said, June was hot. Got another something to drink. His older brother noticed what was wrong with me. I was taking my clothes off outside. I was getting naked outside. He fussing at his brother. Man, what you do to her? He was like, I gave her something to drink. She wants something to drink. She is 16 years old. You are 24. That's the last thing I remember. Woke up, running home. Missed work, running home. Only thing I had on was my broad pants. But I was comfortable, running around. It was off Rextown Road, we live in Park Heights. Put my stuff on, running home. Got home, just was like, I don't even know what happened. Feeling funny. Come on, baby girl, we going to the doctors. I knew I was pregnant already. But I didn't want to let her know. I'm 16. They still married. She told my stepfather she's going to get pregnant. At 16 years old, pregnant from a rape. My oldest son is 23. Got put out the house around my birthday. Found out I was pregnant in September. By November, I was 16 and homeless with a child. Went to my grandmother's house. No disrespect, grandmommy. Just because, no disrespect. Nobody asked me what happened. What happened? Everybody dogged me out. Only person that came close to asking me what happened was my aunt. She said who the child belonged to. If she would have asked me another question, I would have told her what happened. Nobody knew my son was product of a rape. And two, how old was I, mommy? 20? Like 19? And I told you? 22. From 16 to 22, I carried that to myself. Nobody knew I was raped. Nobody. That was my second rape. Go back a little bit. I want to hurt the babies. Go back a little bit. First year at Walbrook, I did, I was a cheerleader. The captain of the football team liked me. Followed across the street. Okay, come across the street, we walked to school together. My first sexual experience, I was raped in my father's house. My first sexual experience, I was raped in my father's house. So that right there being raped in your father's house did something to me. My father was nowhere around to protect me. He left me alone at 12 years old. My first sexual experience, bang, right there. Could I tell him? No. Why would I tell him? Don't want to. For what? He chose a female over his children. So why should I tell you what's going on with me? The babies can come back in. So, from 17 to 20, I was living from house to house to house to house. At the time, my son was 1, 2 years old. Living from house to house, house to house. By 21, I had my second child. When I got pregnant with him, I was in a shelter, a female shelter. And that is where I experienced my own battle with domestic violence. My children's father would beat me to no end. Then, I don't know if y'all probably seen that part where Tyler Perry said, act like you calling the police and see how they react. Before he even thought about that, I thought about it. I said, I'm gonna call the police on you. Oh, don't do that, don't do that. I said, I got you now, sucker. So once we get into another domestic violence situation, I will find something and I will beat the crap out of him. I had to leave him alone. 2 babies came out of that one. And yet I'm still, at this time, I finally got out of the shelter. So now I'm living off of Section 8. So, like I said, I left my baby father alone. Then I met my ex-husband, or my husband-to-be at this time. Didn't know. I understand the weed smoking. I understand weed smoking. I really do. Because some people needed to calm themselves down, and some people just do it just for doing it. Whatever, smoke your weed. If it makes you happy, I love it. Well, with the camera that broke, what did I say? The thing about the camera? Yeah, there you go. He started to use street drugs. I don't know what kind of street drugs it was, but he started to use street drugs. Nobody knew that what was going on but me and my husband. And early on in life, my husband realized that he couldn't have children. So when I got pregnant, it was literally a miracle that I got pregnant. Because my husband's sperm count was so low, like he looked like didn't have no testicles. That's how low it was. Got pregnant, told him, he disappeared. Like, I'm carrying your first child, and he disappeared on me. For a whole month, he was gone. Didn't know where he was at. Came back home, a high stupor. I'm like, how in the world you gonna sit here and come back into the house like this? Yada, yada, yada. So, his parents lived in Virginia, so they will call each other every week just to give a how you doing. You know how you talk to your parents, you have spoken with them for a while. At this moment, my husband was so high, his pupils was dilated. I could sit here and put my finger through his pupil. That's how wide and dilated he was. So, he's talking to his father on the phone, saying whatever he was saying. his father, he told his father to put me on the, his father told him to put me on the phone. I got on the phone. You ain't nothing but a high yellow. Sir, what are you talking about? I don't know, what's going on? So he cussed me out to no end. Like, I don't know what my husband said to him in the process of him giving him the phone to me, but whatever he said, I got cussed out. So my mother-in-law grabbed the phone from my father-in-law and told me to go to bed. Stop cooking. I was cooking for Easter. Stop cooking and go to bed. Fine. Woke up the next morning. My body's like clockwork, so I know when it's time for me to use the bathroom. So I use the bathroom every day around like 7 o'clock. It's still, I don't know why, it's still the same. 7 o'clock. Go to the bathroom, use the bathroom. So I thought. And I'm like, I know, as females, we know, look in the toilet, my baby is there. I grabbed my baby out the toilet. I took off the sack, he was throwing the sack off. I counted his fingers. Well, I shouldn't say his, but sorry. I counted his fingers. I counted his toes. He was still a little bit transparent because of the age that he was. So I saw all his organs and opened his legs to see what he was, and it was a boy. So I'm like, I know, I'm still saying I know I didn't give birth to no baby. So I inhaled, and when I exhaled, all this blood started coming out. So I screamed to my husband to get my son, call 911. But as I was looking at my son had a beautiful smile on his face. I will never forget that smile my son had on his face. And my mother is a witness because the first thing she said when she saw him was, Toya, he is smiling. Everything is going to be okay. So as a result of that, I could not take it anymore, the drug use. So I separated and got divorced 2 years ago. Meanwhile, as my mother read, she read that I was a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ. After all that happened with me and my husband, church hurt. Church hurt. Church hurt.
The worst kind.
Is the worst hurt ever.
Yes.
Ever. I had a best friend who was also a minister. And they thought that I was cheating on my husband. So they called me an adulterer. I was the biggest adulterer in the whole wide world. Not knowing that me and my husband separated, because my husband will play this thing that we still together. No, we're not still together. So stop acting like we're still together. We're not. Stop putting this phony front on. We're not together. So stop it. Like, just stop. So they thought that I was being an adulterer. Like I said, called me everything under the sun. Told me I wasn't worth preaching the gospel. So the last time I preached was on Good Friday of 2011. And it was, the word was when Jesus gave over his son to the Father Mary. That was the last time I preached. I never stepped in front of the pulpit ever again. This is my first time speaking in front of a crowd, ever since 2011. So, I'm not an empty vessel. I'm not. I may have some cracks.
Don't we
I
all?
may have some blemishes.
We all?
I may have some spots. But no one is not worth it. No one is, what should I say? How can I put this? Don't let no one put your self-esteem down.
Yes.
You all worth it. You're not empty, because you always can be full. So that's my story as it stands. So I appreciate your time. My cousin she wanted me to be a vendor, and she wanted me to speak at the same time. So this is what I do. Bedroom candy. I do have some passion pouches for sale, and I do have my card if y'all want to do parties.
Yay!
So come see me afterwards, and I'll show. I have passion pouches in here, and I have my cards. I didn't break it. I read on my paper.
Danielle, the other day, all of our friend Danielle, the other day, that we are so disjointed as women. We are so against each other sometimes, when we should be the people that are most together, because I don't care what color you are, how much money you have, how good your life is or how bad your life is. Women live the same lives. We as women all live the same lives, and we should have the most compassion for one another, because we should all understand what we go through. So I hope that what we do get out of this conference is that we can love each other and learn how to support one another. All right. Now, the piece that I'm about to do, and I'm glad that you all mentioned domestic violence, because this is a piece in regard to domestic violence. This is a true story, and I wrote this on behalf of someone else. I wrote it a long time ago, and it's called For My Friend. This is for my friend who's getting beat, and her esteem dragged in the street, and her knight in shining rusted armor ain't majestic, and violence ain't just domestic, it's terrorism and all-out antagonism, and she doesn't leave because she's afraid, and he looks over at the mess he's made, and she gets no change back for the price she's paid, and their life becomes an ugly charade. This is for my friend who's scared to tell and scared to yell, because if she did, her life wouldn't seem so perfect. For love, she accepts this as just a side effect, when what step up with him is still neglect, heart bleeding inside, and he is the defect. So she stays and lets him control, and after the beatings he tries to console her torn soul and promises not to do it again. And tells her he is her only friend, and shuts out the world as he locks up that beautiful, battered little girl. This is for my friend who I'd like to tell she can begin again, that she can lean on my strength and hold up her chin again. If she believes she can win again. If she keeps on trying and puts a stop to all the crying, she can overturn and learn to discern the difference between being ride or die and dying. I want to tell her to preserve life by any means necessary, because it's necessary to breathe. For the body to live, the brain must perceive, and esteem can't be birthed and conceived. She doesn't seem to have to live deceived, and the lie doesn't have to be believed. I want to tell her that I've got her back as I sit in the back of life's theater watching her story across the screen. As my mind tries to silence the screams, I silently scream, screaming that she's gone, and screaming because she failed me by letting him do her wrong. I want to tell her that I care, but she isn't there. only the place where silent souls meet, under a block of concrete that bears her name. And now life isn't the same because I have so much left I want to say, and so many nights I prayed, and so many nights she stayed, destiny delayed, and now I'm just missing my friend, who we laid down to rest in stolen pieces. No longer have the chance to smooth out the creases. This is for our friends, mothers, daughters, cousins, aunts, and nieces, and all the voices prematurely silenced. This is for each and every victim of unnecessary violence, for all the devastations, all the tribulations, trepidations. Live life to the fullest to receive your reparations. This is for all the hurt and the times you can't see your way through. This is for my friend. This is for you.
Amen.
Oh, first, can I say this? Everybody who won a prize, I think in the spirit of sisterhood, y'all should share whatever's in that bag. That's what I think, personally. Y'all with me? Because I'm feeling like, you know, want some of what's in that bag. Okay, all right. So, some of the subjects that we deal with as women, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. This is a real subject about the other woman. Look, everybody got quiet. It offends us. Sometimes it is us. And I had a situation in my life, because as women, we all have situations all the time. But if you don't learn from them, then you are doomed to repeat them. And so I had a situation where I was married, and I had a husband who wanted to be everybody else's husband. I had a community husband. You know what I mean? And I was a part of the community. In this particular instance, because we are talking transparency, and that's what sisterhood is about, being transparent. So in the spirit of transparency, I will say that I'm not one of those women who want to snatch up the other woman. I'm not her. I feel like I didn't marry her. My issue is with him. But when you come to my house and eat my food, I'm coming to see you. Okay? Yeah, I'm coming to see you. And so I went. And she wouldn't come outside because God is good. God is good, y'all. God is good. I probably still been asking for commissary. But she wouldn't come outside. And after I destroyed her property and his, because he was there, with their new baby. And she had put her husband out, because when I met her, she was at my house meeting me with her husband and her 2 children. And her 2 children played with our children. And she was sleeping with my husband.
Oh, no.
But the best punishment for people like that is to give them the husband. That's the best punishment, because you can have him, honey. I bet you're going to be knocking on my door, changing your mind quickly. But I didn't change my mind. And I left him there. But I couldn't heal from it. I couldn't heal from it for a long time. My good girlfriends are here, and they will tell you, I didn't see anybody for 3 years, almost 3 years, date anybody. I just didn't want to be bothered at all. I raised my children, and I hurt. I had my circle of friends, you know. I had my circle of friends, and I was dying, honestly. I could not get past it. I really could not get past it. And one day, as I was plotting their death, no, I'm not playing. I was like, no, because let me tell y'all something. The enemy will trick you. Because I really started convincing myself that I have a really big loving family and they will take care of my children. Honest to God. I really started feeling like if I killed them, I would feel better. But God gave me some words to heal me and heal somebody else. So this piece is called Other Woman. And what he did was, he gave me her perspective. And he allowed me to write from her shoes. And that's what I did. And it healed me. It healed me. So, and it has a couple of little grown-up words in it, but we grown. Not disrespectful, but real. Because this really happened. All right. Why do you keep blowing up my phone? Because he didn't come home and you assume he's with me. Your lack of trust in him has nothing to do with us, and your constant calls and accusations only makes the limitations more appealing. Makes the lovemaking have more feeling. Makes him take his time when he reassures me that he'll always be mine. At least in the confines of all these stipulations, and in the corner, bent over and under these relations enhanced by our fantasy-filled conversations. Why are you angry like I took your vows and that my loyalty should lie with you? If you can't control them at home, how do you surmise that a phone call will do? You think I'm heartless, but let's not start this, because the truth is, if I am, it's only because he took my heart. He dissected it and tore it apart when I first found out about you. It was never my plan to turn your life upside down. It's just that he turns my life right side up. He fills my cup, and I don't think there's anything you could say or do that could make him replace what we have in this space. And though I know it's wrong, I'm already too far gone. And as much as I want to come back to myself, stop living in the shadow of somebody else, become untangled from being the other, I can't find my way out. I just don't want another. I can't start over and begin again. He's my safety, my boo, my cotton candy, my glue. We do what we do, then he goes back home to you. You called me a slut and a whore, and threatened to put his clothes at my door because, as you said then, I could have him, but I could never have him. Because as much as we are not. And as much as you don't see it, he loves you a whole lot. And would never be able to disrupt your family dynamic. Our love isn't porcelain. This thing is ceramic, filled with flaws. But in its simplicity, it puts his world on pause. I give him encouragement, accolades. I give him applause. I am the effect to his cause. I let him know he still got it. I give him everything these moments have allotted. When you know better, you do better. But the loving gets wetter and wetter. I stay because I can. See, I already understand the sacrifice I'm making to be with your man. Never able to hold his hand or be acknowledged outside the secret. What I feel inside I hide. I just can't speak it. So missus, before you get angry and want to fight about this love I've been making with your man all night, just understand that when you cry, I cry too. Because in the end, if I keep it real with myself, all he ever really wanted is you. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Well, first, I want to just thank everybody again for coming. And I want to give a special thank you to all of my vendors who volunteered to come today. I want to give a special shout out to Polish Society, because they did all of the decorations. They donated their equipment to the event. So it's cards on my table. So if you would be interested, they do a lot of different events. They're gladly happy. So I'm gonna need a volunteer to come up. Come on, Tori. So this conference has been a long time coming. It's been a baby that's just been inside of me for a very, very long time. So finally, I said I'm gonna answer this call so I can help. So I hope that you guys, everybody receives what the Lord has laid on my heart. And I'm gonna give it to you how He gave it to me. Not intending to hurt anyone's feelings, but so that we can all be healed. All right, so we'll start. Just as my mission statement says, I want you to all come empty but leave full. How many women in the room have ever been to a women's conference before? Yeah. I hope that you would see in the end that this is not your normal conference. This particular conference is going to be different than most conferences. I want you to participate in this discussion. I'm going to ask you questions, and I would like for you to be comfortable enough to answer the questions. I want you to talk with me. I want to talk with you. I don't want to talk to you. Because sometimes when you start talking to people, they start feeling like they tune you out. So I want to include you in the conversation. We will be handing out a brief survey and at the end that we want you to fill out. And we can hope that we can begin to design conferences that meet everyone's needs. So please tell us what you want to receive from these conferences so we can continue to fill you up and you can come back the next time you can bring a friend. Or if someone in the room feels like they have a story to share and you can help fill vessels, please let one of the staff members know. All of my staff have on empty vessel t-shirts. Let's get started. I want to ask someone first to tell me what they think a vessel is. A container. Anybody else? Okay. So when I was searching to find out what a vessel really was, it's simply an object that holds something. So a vessel is simply our bodies that hold everything. It holds our minds, our emotions, and our spirits. Okay, so who can tell me what empty means?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Not full. Empty means containing nothing, not filled, or occupied. My purpose today is to discuss how we are treating our vessels, resulting in how others are treating our vessels. And how when we are empty, it can cause us to make some bad decisions. Our vessels are so important. They are tough, but at the same time fragile. Like that old Time X slogan, they take a licking, but they keep on ticking. But what happens when our exterior doesn't always match our interior? We don't always wear what we're going through. Raise your hands if you ever felt like you were dying inside, but you knew you had to paint on a smile and continue to go through your daily routines. That is no truth. On one hand, we are expected to be strong, but at the same time, you can't be too strong, because when you're too strong, then you're too opinionated, you're too angry, you're too bitter, or you're too independent. If we were viewed as more than empty vessels, then we wouldn't be raped, beaten, molested, or mistreated in any way. We wouldn't be paid less than our male counterparts for doing the same jobs, or expected to grin and bear and not complain if we feel we are being mistreated. We wouldn't be sexually assaulted and then expect to be quiet about it, or made to feel as if we do tell, then most likely we won't be believed. It is so unfortunate, but in today's society, we are simply viewed as empty vessels. And these empty vessels have holes that other people can use to fill up. For example, our mouths. People think that they can tell us what to say. Like we don't have our own voice to tell our own stories. Or our vaginas. They want to take our decisions away in regards to what we can do with it. Or more importantly, they want to put penises in there for their pleasure without our consent. Or we even keep putting penises in our own vaginas with our own consent to make us feel full. And our lovely booties that some feel are on display for them to touch without our permission. While preparing for this conference, I began to realize that each and every one of us have a different level of emptiness. And the struggle is real every day to remain full. For the most part, people see you how you see you. So if you see yourself as nothing, then they will treat you as nothing. Some of us don't even look in the mirror because we don't like what is looking back at us. I know. How can I see myself as something different? The first step in becoming a full vessel is you have to first change how you think. But more importantly, you have to change what you think about yourself. This is going to be hard because you are reprogramming the way you have been thinking, which will prayerfully change the choices that you will make in the future. Sometimes we might find ourselves not making that choice that is right, but making the choice that is easy because we want to please other people. We do things to please other people just to make them happy. But sometimes we never ask ourselves, will this make me happy? Emptiness will cause you to try to fill yourself with anything. So we're going to make a list of some good things we fill our vessels with and some bad things we fill our vessels with. Yep. Who can give me some examples of some positive things we fill our vessel with?
Gloria.
That's the number one. Go on.
Family. Love. Peace. Okay. We can give us some negative things we fill our vessels with.
God, hatred.
Envy. What else?
Can y'all see that? I'm sorry.
Okay. It's okay. Complaining.
Unforgiveness.
Unforgiveness.
Acceptance.
Acceptance.
Pride.
Unforgiveness.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. We're faster than her. Okay.
Selfishness.
Selfishness.
I'm sorry. Well,
Pride.
I'm not a teacher, though.
Someone said envy. Did you put envy?
Gluttony.
Oh, gluttony is a good one.
That can come in all different forms.
Cattiness. That's women.
Okay. Alright, that's good. So we're gonna go through this list. And we're gonna go through the negative first. Because God needs to empty out the dirty before he can fill it back up with the clean.
That's right.
We need to acknowledge the baggage that we are carrying around with us every day. Because that baggage makes us who we are. It could also be contributing to our emptiness. So the first trait that I want to talk about is attention. Some of us stay with people because we don't want to be alone. We stay in abusive relationships, which could be physical, emotional, or verbally abusive. Don't allow people to beat everything out of you. You are no one's punching bag or spit bucket. Stop allowing people to talk to you any kind of way. You are not weak. You are strong, and you can get out. Abuse is not love. They don't love you because love does not cause physical pain. And you can't stay in a relationship that is draining the life out of you. If you or somebody you know is in an abusive relationship, please contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE. Remember, the Bible says in Psalms 139:14, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Now I need you to act like it.
All right now.
So in your bags, I put memo pads so you can take notes. And I provided you a pen so nobody would have to excuse. So when y'all leave, everything in your bag has the brand on it. Because I want you to see daily that you're not an empty vessel. So when you sign in your checks, you sign it with that pen. You put your pen on your coat, so when people see you, they know you're not an empty vessel. You buy you a t-shirt. I want to see women jogging across the street. I want to see y'all on y'all Instagram pages with y'all I'm not an empty vessel t-shirts on. And then tell your friends. Okay. The second thing that may contribute to an empty vessel is drugs or alcohol. Sometimes we're trying to mask out pain behind these things. There's nothing wrong with an occasional drink. But what about when you drink so much and you can't remember what happened? Or you drink so much now it's affecting your health? On the other hand, we might be using some type of drugs as a stress relief. But what are you doing about the thing that's causing you stress? Because after you come down from that high, if you don't deal with that thing, it's going to still be there, which in turn is going to still cause you to continue to get high. If you avoid something, that's not dealing with it. Face it head on. Isn't it funny how some of us might think something is bad, but another person might think that saying something is good. It all comes down to what causes you pleasure. Pleasure is a feeling of happy satisfaction and enjoyment. But what happens when that's something that causes you pleasure may be the same exact something that is stopping you from being full? Or that same something that's causing you pleasure is causing someone else pain. For example, when we are normally sleeping with someone's husband, because he might be paying our bills or making us feel good sexually, oh, I know I don't owe her anything because I don't know her, or I ain't say vows to her. But if you are not going to care about the pain that you're inflicting upon her, then don't get mad about that pain that God is going to inflict upon you. Amen. It don't always come back the way He gave it out. Your punishment might be in your finances, your health, or with your own kids acting out. Or we stay with a man that is giving us pleasure, but the pain is being inflicted upon our kids. He mistreats them, he beats them, or is verbally abusive to them, or worse, maybe touching them inappropriately. We can't sacrifice our kids for our own pleasure because he pays the bills or makes me feel good sexually. In the end, all we're doing is helping to keep the vicious cycle of emptiness going. Well, how many of us love food? I know I do. We celebrate everything with food. You got a new boo? Let's celebrate. Oh, you lost that boo? Well, let's go talk it over some food, and we will pray that you get you a new boo. Nothing is wrong with celebrating over food, but sometimes we find comfort in food, and that's when it becomes a problem. We have to take care of our vessels because you only get one. We want to have a healthy vessel so we can live a long life. Ladies, let's make sure we're getting our checkups regularly. And since it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, please make sure you're getting your mammograms if you reach that age. Don't forget about your physicals, your colonoscopies, and your yearly pap smears. Now that we've unpacked all of our negative baggage, we want to fill our suitcases with positive things. The first thing we will be adding into our vessels is self-respect. Self-respect is pride and confidence in oneself. And maybe if you don't have these things, that could be contributing to your emptiness. When you have self-respect, you command respect from the people you allow in your space. You stand up for yourself because you know how you deserve to be treated. Your circle will appreciate you more, and they'll know that you're not going to tolerate being treated less than you deserve. When your vessel is a little fuller, you will have a sense of honor and dignity about yourself. And even if others mistreat you, you still respect them in spite of them. Ultimately, when you have self-respect, it is represented in how you show off your vessel. Your vessel will show the world who you are, that you are a proud and confident woman, and your days of being mistreated are over. Confucius said, respect yourself, and others will respect you. Another positive thing to pack in your suitcase is happiness. Happiness is basically a state of mind. What might make you happy might not make another person happy. For me, I love shopping. Nothing makes me feel happier than to hear the sound of a cash register. But for some others, happiness might be watching the sunset or spending time with their family. However, sometimes our happiness might be blocked because we can't forgive somebody that has hurt us in the past. To be fully happy, you can't be a victim of your past hurt because forgiveness releases that pain and allows you to change your future. Forgiveness doesn't mean you forget. It just means that I have grown enough to not allow a person to have a hold on me. A full vessel is a happy vessel that promotes positivity. When people see you, they should see a light shining bright inside of you instead of the darkness that is consuming you. Nobody should know you are going through a hard time but you and God. Are you going to have some bad days? Absolutely. We all will. But you can't let your bad days outweigh your good days. You can't look for your happiness in other people either. Most of the time, empty vessels attract other empty vessels, and they are unhappy together. Maybe that's why your relationships aren't working, because you have two empty people coming together to try to make one happy life. Most empty vessels are unhappy because they're so busy trying to make other people happy, and this can be draining. How can you make somebody else happy if you're not happy yourself? Then you find yourself in a vicious cycle of cultivating relationships based on what makes other people happy and putting their needs before your own. You find yourself eating what they like and doing the things that they like. And for so long you do that, you don't even know what you like anymore.
Come on, it's not true.
Goldie Hawn said it best. The only thing that will make you happy is being happy with who you are and not who people think you are. While packing your suitcase, don't forget to pack the most important thing, which is love. Even in the Bible, it states in 1 Corinthians 13:13, and now these three we name: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love.
Amen.
Did you ever stop to think that maybe the reason why you're empty is because you don't know how to love yourself? When you have love inside of your vessel, you see the world different. However, before you can love others, you have to love yourself first. When you love yourself, you make decisions for your life that are positive. You don't make decisions based on if it makes you feel good or not. And you turn away from bad behaviors that might get you in trouble. Sometimes you need to love yourself enough to tell yourself no when it comes to certain people. These people will constantly use you or take advantage of your kindness if you let them. Sometimes kindness can be mistaken for weakness. And people will say things like, if you love me, you would do it. How about for now on you say, no, because I love myself more, so I'm not.
Come on.
The more love you have for yourself, the better off you will be in your daily relationships. Because you'll be able to teach people how to love you. Only you know how you want to be loved. So if you're not getting out of your relationships what you're looking for, speak up and tell them. Once you have told them how you feel, if they don't change, understand it's not you, but them. And you don't have to allow them in your space anymore. It is so important to know that sometimes for your sanity and peace of mind, you have to get to a place in life where you have to love people where they are. Now this is hard because you are acknowledging that yes, they hurt you. And unfortunately, they may not be the mother, the father, the sister, the brother, the baby daddy, or friend that you need them to be for you. Or more importantly, they may never be. You will be happier because you know what you can expect from them. They can't cause you pain if you don't expect too much. John Spence said, learn to love yourself first instead of loving the idea of other people loving you. Now if I say you're worth so much more than what you are living in your space, how many know what I mean when I say that? Okay, good. So the second part of no longer being an empty vessel is know your worth. Worth is defined as the level at which someone or something deserves to be valued or treated. When you leave here today, I want you to have the mindset that I'm better than that. I'm better than being somebody's side piece. I'm better than keep being somebody's baby mama. I'm better than being a booty call. I'm better than these drugs or alcohol that I continue to put in my body. I'm better than allowing people to walk over me. And more importantly, I'm better than not living up to my full potential. It took me a long time to know my worth. But baby, when I figured it out, there was no stopping me. Why do I say that? But when I realized I was worthy, I was not going to just give myself away to be used by anyone. Not my friends, not my family, not my co-workers, not my man, and more importantly, not by myself. See, until I knew I was worth more than what I was selling for, then I was doing myself an injustice. When you don't know your worth, you allow people to mistreat you because you don't know anything better. However, I'm here today to tell you that you are so much better than the things that you have been selling for. Malcolm X said, we cannot think of being acceptable to others until we have proved acceptable to ourselves. Also, when you know your worth, you stop letting people use you. Because you were going to be the head and not the tail. When you are in a healthy relationship, be it a friend, parent-child, sibling, husband-wife, girlfriend-boyfriend, or manager-co-worker, that should always be give and take. No one person should be given all the time, and no one person should always be taken. If you are in a one-sided relationship, even if you are the one that is constantly taken, that is not healthy. A full vessel is a well-rounded vessel. which means you know you are worthy, and more importantly, you pick people to be in your life that are worthy as well. I'm a firm believer that you attract what you put out. If you put out negativity, that's what you will get back. But if you put out positivity, you will get that back as well. No relationship is easy, and it takes work. And we all have failures. But the failures are what is important, because you have to learn for what doesn't work so you know how to change your approach the next time. The late Marilyn Monroe said, just because you fail once doesn't mean you're going to fail at everything. Keep trying, hold on, and always believe in yourself. Because if you don't, then who will, sweetie? Knowing your worth is tied with having a positive self-esteem. When you believe in yourself and love yourself, others will too. You tackle the world with a different attitude. When you have a positive self-esteem, you are confident with your weight, your height, and everything that makes you fabulous. You don't base your self-worth on social media. Your self-esteem should not be tied to how many friends or followers you have, because in the end, most of them are just as good as you are. You project what you think the world expects from you instead of what God expects from you. It doesn't matter what you have on. When your self-esteem is high, you can walk down the street with a trash bag on and know you got it going on and are unstoppable. Heads will turn because you are a head turner. When you walk, walk with a purpose. Hold your head up high and have your eyes focused on what is ahead of you. Your eyes are windows to your soul. When people look in your eyes, they can tell if you're empty or not. Because if your eyes are absent of life and there's nothing being reflected back, then people tend to judge you and treat you like the empty vessel you're projecting. When you don't know your worth, you allow yourself to be hungry for attention, hungry for love, and hungry for acceptance. You settle for less and accept what others are giving you because somewhere within you, you don't feel like you deserve anything better. Stop allowing yourself to be used and abused because you are scared of being by yourself. And don't sell yourself short to make someone else look good. Please know that. A woman that realizes her worth is a dangerous woman. Alicia Reeves. Now that you will change your mindset and you know you're worthy, the final step in understanding the final step in getting to a fuller vessel is understanding that you're a princess in the making. Has anyone ever seen the movie The Princess Diaries, starring Anne Hathaway? It came out in 2001.
Yeah.
This movie tells the story of a young girl who wakes up one day to find out that she is a real-life princess and is heir to the throne of Genovia. But like many of us, she doesn't want to be a princess because she doesn't want to give up her life of normalcy or put the work in that is required to be a princess. When you are a princess, you carry yourself different. You keep your head high, you don't worry about what people think of you, and most importantly, you don't let nothing or no one stop you from being who you're destined to be. A princess never wants her crown to slip or fall. She stays on top of her game at all times. Unfortunately, Mia, she would rather stay in the shadows and let people treat her like she is less than, instead of living up to her full potential. She fights her grandmother every step of the way, because in Mia's eyes, she's invisible. First, she doesn't want to get a makeover, because she likes herself the way she is. And she doesn't want people to think she's trying to fit in, and she doesn't want to change. But isn't that what we do with God? When He tries to clean us up, we fight Him every step of the way. We fight the stripping process because we know that's going to hurt. We hold on to things that we know we should let go of because they have been a part of us for so long, we don't know how to live without them. Change is hard for most to accept. So we fight it because we don't want to give up on who we are or who we're destined to be. But the stripping process is a necessary one because that's how He gets rid of all the imperfections that are contributing to our influence.
That's right.
The next part of Mia's princess lessons is that she had to know who she can trust with her secret. When you are a princess, you have to surround yourself around people who want the best for you, instead of people who are constantly taking from you or bringing you down. But what do? Because we want so badly to fit in, we stay in friendships or relationships that are draining the life out of us. Why are you dulling your life to try to fit in with people that you are destined to shine bright and stand out from? Mia's best friend Lily told her to stop thinking about herself and how much of an inconvenience it was for her not to take her rightful position as a princess. She told her she was selfish and could be a much better princess than just an average citizen in San Francisco. We all should have a me in our life. A person who will tell us what we need to hear and not what we want to hear. Because they want to spare our feelings. Surround yourself around people who will help push you to greatness instead of people who are intimidated by your royal status. So then they hate on every great idea you have. Lily was never jealous of Mia or hated that she was chosen for this title instead of her. In fact, Lily was one of her biggest cheerleaders. She wouldn't let her give up on herself when she wanted to. Lily told her that maybe her thoughts and the thoughts of people smarter than her would be much better heard, and just maybe those thoughts could be turned into action. That's why God chose you for this position as princess, because you have something that he can use to make others around you great. The question is, are you going to answer his call? The most important step in this princess lesson is that she had to learn that what she wants or thinks she wants might not be what's best for her. Mia had the biggest crush on the most popular boy in school named Josh. Now, Josh treated Mia like she was invisible until he found out that she was a princess. How many of us had an interaction with a Josh? Josh could care less about us, didn't know we existed, until he realized we could do something for him. However, Mia was so excited when he asked her to a beach party. She accepted his invitation, which in turn hurt the feelings of Michael, who had a secret crush on me. Michael does everything to get Mia's attention. He fixes her car, he walks her to school, and he's there to listen when she needs him to. And Mia never realizes how he feels because in her eyes, he is just her friend. And I'm going to give her the foot-popping kiss she has dreamed of. How many times did we overlook somebody because he didn't look the part or didn't fit our criteria? Instead, we keep dating the same type of person and miss out on our real blessing because we are stubborn and think that our choices are better than the ones God will make for us. Even worse, we don't want to be judged, so we rather stay with somebody who mistreats us because we don't want our family or friends to talk about our mate. Sometimes when you're empty, your insecurity will attract needy and clingy men who will use you. You don't need to be with anyone who brings nothing to the table but themselves. A real man won't live off a woman. Only boys want their mommies to take care of. Stop allowing men in your space that will live off of you, not step out when needed, and not treat you like the princess you are. Eventually, Mia saw Josh for who he really was. She realized that he only invited her to that party to make him famous, and not because he liked her. And her popular foot kiss was nothing more than a tangled, clumsy mess that left her crying and defeated. How many tears have we shed on people that did nothing more than showed us who they truly were? If you walk like a duck and quack like a duck, then it's a duck. My favorite part of the movie is the end. Because even though she didn't show up for Michael when he needed her, Michael showed up for her when she needed him the most. He put on his suit and he came to the ball to be her date. In the end, he swallowed his pride and he didn't let his hurt feelings stop him from getting a girl. And when he asked her, why him? She said, because you saw me when I was invisible. It took some time, tears, and heartache for Mia to realize, just like us, that God doesn't send you what you want most of the time, but he most definitely sends you what you need all the time. Kurt Bradshaw said in Sex and the City, the most exciting, challenging, and significant relationship of all is the one you have with yourself. And if you find someone to love the you love, well, that's just fabulous. So finally, what have we learned today? We've learned that we are all empty and trying daily to get full. That when we change how we see us, people will change how they treat us. I'm worthy of great things, and I can't cause other people pain just because it makes me feel good. If my life isn't going the way I want it, maybe I should look at the me I'm trying to be and then focus more on the one that God wants me to be. Lastly, I'm a princess in the making, and I need to take my princess lessons seriously because I'm destined for greatness, and these lessons are part of the process. One final question. Does everyone have their bottle of water that we provided on the tables? How many of you started drinking out of it? I know you were wondering why I was pulling water out that bottle during this message. This bottle of water, it represents your vessel. And the water represents everything inside of you that's filling you up. And you can see that my vessel is now empty. But look at what God does.
All right now.
Oh, all right.
You go, girl.
All right now.
Amen.
Fill her up.
He will fill it back up.
Yes, he will.
He takes that same vessel that some of us drank out of, or threw in the trash, and he fills it back up with fun, purpose, and love.
Yeah.
He doesn't want us to be empty, because emptiness attracts other emptiness, and that will breed even more emptiness. So I want to leave you with this last quote, and I hope you write it down and keep it with you. It's from Maya Angelou. A woman in harmony with her spirit is like a river flowing. She goes where she will without pretense and arrives at her destination prepared to be herself and only herself. Thank you.